Hey everyone, it's Ray. Welcome back to my playthrough of Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail. In the last episode, we did the level 97 dungeon, and we made our way to Yasuani, or as it's apparently now known as, Heritage Found, or Alexandria, or something. Anyway, we met the Queen, and we're now going to be doing shit. Anyway, speak with Alize. It goes without saying, but we're not going to trust her just like that, right? Anyway, if you look at it, a mysterious girl who appears out of nowhere proclaiming herself as a queen is suspicious. The 8th Umbral Calamity has been added to the Codex. Studium. Alright. I'll read that later, but a royal welcome. Well, having established that we should be wary, we could use more information. Let's head to the palace the outskirts, and see what we can learn. Perhaps about Sphene as well. Alright. This place is crazy. East Yasuani. Old Town. Ma, you ever seen such strange contraptions? I wonder what this one is used for. Most unusual farm, but the produce appears normal. Brick buildings, I've seen there like before, though I cannot remember where. The innovations of Alexandria are nothing short of extraordinary. First, you have similar farming facilities in Tyrol. They're completely different from ours. I have no idea what all those machines do. We settled on this approach after some trial and error. The Turali have their own methods of farming, which they wanted to continue employing. But the environment makes it challenging. There's too much rain and not enough light. Thankfully, the use of electrope has allowed us to fortify the buildings here, as well as provide what nature cannot. Electro what? Electrope, or electrope, is a material we use for myriad devices and applications. Topic for another time, perhaps. If you would follow me, we're nearly to the outskirts. Alright. Guess these substitute light and rain for the farms. This is weird. Very weird. Wow, it's a mix of both cultures, Tuliyolal and Alexandria.
Here we are. Though you'll doubtless find much of what you see in Alexandria strange, the traditional agriculture practiced in this village at least should be familiar.
Queen Sphene? What business brings her here, I wonder?
The Queen has come!
Things on their head freak me out.
You look well, Paquine. And Katonye, I see you've already taken to your new position.
When she introduced herself as queen, I was expecting someone colder. Honestly, she reminds me of you, Namachi. Me?
It's only natural for a ruler to love her people. And I should like to know them as best I can, even the most trifling details.
The more you come to know them, the more you grow to love them. Who they are and what they've built.
That's it. Beautifully put.
And it would appear that she is well loved in turn.
This is so weird.
Your Majesty, you honor us with your presence. And who are these fine people?
Tuliolol's vow of resolve Wuk-Lamat and her companions. They come from beyond the barrier, but you needn't worry. They are good people and are to be treated as my honored guests.
The rumors of a link to the outside are true, then. Wuk-Lamat is still so young. Oh, where are my manners? I am Popone, a leader of sorts of the people living out here.
Papone? That is a Tonawautan ring to it.
Right you are. I take it you hail from this region as well? Teshpiani, perhaps?
Yes, I do. I don't suppose you know a woman by the name of Kafkiwa?
Kafkiwa? I'm afraid I'm not sure if I've ever met someone with that name.
Oh. Mother isn't here. But it's a relief to know at least some of the people of Yasulani are alive and well.
Your mother, you say? Now that you mention it, I do see the resemblance.
You know my mother?
I do. Yes.
Then tell me, please, where is she?
I cannot say. Not here, but I promise I will in due time.
I have a question, Pepone. Do you recall what happened the day the dome first appeared?
The barrier? Well, I remember fixing a shelf that had collapsed after a terrible earthquake. Then the ground began to tremble. There was a brilliant flash of light, and then... Forgive me, my recollection of it all is rather poor.
You needn't push yourself, Popone. After 30 years, no one could blame you for not remembering.
30 years?
30 years? As in 30 years in the past?
Absurd though it may sound, there is no doubt in my mind the events that led to the joining of our lands occurred 30 years ago. Which is not to say I understand why our perceptions of the intervening time are so radically different. We only just became aware of the discrepancy when Zoraljar's military base was completed, and we were at last able to venture beyond the barrier.
I believed you long dead. To have the chance to kill you myself is an unforeseen blessing.
Oh, that explains it.
30 years. Little wonder Zoralja assumed our father had already passed away.
It's not unlike how time passes differently in the First and the Source. The fluctuating space of the rift between them disrupting temporal equivalence. Perhaps the same holds true here, and time flowed faster within the dome.
You suppose time is still passing faster here?
I was able to make contact with Y'shtola not long ago via link pearl, so that shouldn't be cause for concern. And based on the Queen's account, this encampment may have come to serve as a physical bridge between the two planes, after which the dome was forced into the source's temporal flow.
If we're to be certain of anything, we need more information. Sphene, would it be all right if we had a look around and spoke with the townspeople?
By all means.
Time to see what we can see of Alexandria, then.
And its people. I may yet find familiar faces among the survivors from Yassolani.
Even if I don't understand the half of it, I would learn more of this place before we confront Zorolja.
Right.
Perhaps you'd care to see how we make our living. Though we have always prided ourselves on the use of traditional Tonawatan farming methods, the use of electro-fueled technologies has led to countless agricultural innovations.
I would join you as well.
Ma'am, please, you needn't trouble yourself.
It's no trouble at all. And I promise not to cause any manner of distraction.
Reassuring words, or they would be had I not heard them countless times before. Very well, but do be careful.
Of course. I shall proceed with the utmost care. Now then, if you two would follow me, we can begin the tour.
I can't say that I trust her yet, but I trust that her affection for these people is genuine. And that's enough for me.
Yeah, I suppose so. So strange. I love it. Speak with Sphene once more. Electrop has done much to improve the efficiency of their farming, but hasn't replaced everything. People wanted to preserve their old ways of life, and we did not want to force ours upon them. We went to such lengths so that our cultures could coexist, going so far as to learn our tongue. I'm sure everyone appreciated that. Communication was thankfully not an issue, so the Turali tongue is surprisingly similar to Alexandria. Of course, there are words and phrases for which there is no equivalent, but those can be taught with minimal effort. Through mutual respect, understanding, and patience, we Alexandrians and Turali have learned a great deal from one another. I'm sure there is much you wish to learn, so please, if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. A day in the life. Rather than bore you with lengthy explanations, head back to the farm we passed earlier. Iupe's Halo is it called. We can speak with one of the farmers when we arrive. Guess we're up to Iupe's Halo. Alright, continue on. Wow, this is weird. I'm wondering if Alexandria was like in the same location in their shard as they were in Tulialal. That would be interesting to find out. This is basically a tractor. For it. Here we go. Allow me to introduce you to Mahuswa, one of the most experienced farmhands in all of Alexandria. She's well versed in a myriad of farming techniques. Indeed, the wealth of knowledge she has shared with the other farmers is what has allowed this place to flourish. Queen Sphene, do what I owe this sudden shower of praise. My apologies for the interruption. I'm come with guests from beyond the barrier. I wish to learn more of Alexandria, so I invited them to see how our crops are grown. I do hope that's alright. The rumors of visitors from the outside were true. Better of host would we be to deny them a look around? I gather your majesty is also intend to check on things here? You know me too well, Mahuswa. I thought to seize this opportunity to see how the farms fare, and perhaps pepper them with a few questions, though I do so enjoy observing and taking part in the work too. It would appear we have her permission, so please, walk the grounds to your heart's content. You go ahead, I'll keep Sphene company. Don't misunderstand, I'm not the suspicious type, but given our positions, it would make sense for us to go around together, wouldn't you say? A fair point, but be sure not to let me out of your sight. I shall remain under Wuklamat's watchful eye. Pray, come find us after you've seen your fill and spoken with the other farmhands. Alrighty then. Explore? Howie. Saying that you and yours are visitors from beyond the barrier, is that true? So it is, which means we're connected to the outside world again. Not that I have any desire to leave, mind you, I'm quite content with life here in Alexandria. But setting that aside, you're here to observe our work, right? As you can see, I'm in charge of livestock. Here in Yupe's Halo, we produce not only fruits and vegetables, but also meat, poultry, and eggs. Tending the animals is an absolute joy, but I have to be careful not to grow attached. It's always a little sad when they're shipped off, but a job's a job. Well, I need to get back to it. It was nice talking to you. You could give my regards to the Queen. Shipped off, eh? They climb. Neck. Alright. Oh, an unfamiliar face. I gather this is your first time on site, then. Well, this here's the storehouse, or rather the entrance. The real storehouse is underground. Much more spacious and equipped with a temperature regulation system to keep the harvest from spoiling. Since the entrance is so small, it's much easier to prevent wild beasts from wandering inside, which also makes it a viable facility for breeding and raising livestock. Even got a few beds down there for emergency. Parents often complain about how Alexandria technology and electro complicate our lives. It's just a matter of learning how things work. Take my job, for instance. I'm presently overseeing the storage of harvested crops. They'll be taken up to the tower for processing, and from there, they'll find their way to every dining table in Alexandria. Work is hard, I'll not deny, but I take great satisfaction in what we do. Interesting. Light levels appear to be fine. As for the power source... wish to know about my job? I tend to the fields mostly, watering the crops, keeping the soil fertile, and so on. It admittedly took some time until I finally understood how to best carry out my duties. I also manage the lamps we use in the fields. We do our best to keep everything up to code, but should they ever start to malfunction, it's up to me to fix them. Land and sky being what they are, ensuring a rich harvest makes for constant work, but honestly, I enjoy how involved the process is. Both my parents being Alexandrian, I didn't grow up knowing much of anything about farming. Every day is an opportunity to learn and grow. Alright. Speak with Sphene. I see. Don't be too hard on yourselves. Anyone would have been hard-pressed to deal with such a thing. Oh, welcome back. My apologies for failing to notice your return. I gather you had your fill speaking with the farmers? And let us return to Mahuswa. What are those devices on your head? Well, what are your impressions of the farm? Electrope is quite impressive. I'll say that much. So it was the electrope that caught your eye. Only natural, I suppose, if you've come to a place without it. Still, you only seem mildly interested. This means we believe you have experience with even more marvelous technology. I'd love to hear your tales one day. What do you think of our little tour, Lamati? What did you call me? Is it inappropriate? My apologies. I heard the others call you by that name and I thought... No, it's fine. As you said before, with no need for titles and formalities. As for my thoughts, I was very impressed. A machine could be used to overcome so harsh an environment is amazing. Never even seen anything like it. Feeling is understandable. Indeed, many still find the machinery behind me baffling. The system that controls the distribution of water for the fields and livestock is acting up lately, though. Acting up, you say? You needn't worry, my queen. It happens fairly often. But simply, it's taken in water that has a strong lightning charge. We think some creatures have become charged up with the energy and they're releasing it into the river we use as a source. The system would return to normal if all the creatures we dealt with, but I'm reluctant to beg it of the army. We could take care of it if you like. It was gracious for you to offer, but it's much too dangerous. Oh, it's no trouble for the vow of resolve of Tuliolal. Regardless of how the relationship between our nations may develop, if there are people in need, I want to help. Simple as that. And Rei'tan is even stronger than I am. It shouldn't take us long at all. Then very well, I gratefully accept, but please take care. Alrighty. This ought to go even faster if you and I search for lightning-charged fiends on our own. Good hunting! Alrighty. Let's continue on. Alright, first one's right here. There you are. There we go. And let's go over here. I already see where there's going to be one to take care of. Alright. Alrighty. Place in perpetual thunderstorms. Wow. This is so weird. Alright. You're both alright, thank goodness. We really needn't have worried so much. We barely broke a sweat dealing with the fiends. They're all gone now. Of course I was worried. You're my dear guest. But thank you, we truly appreciate this. Indeed, with this, we won't have to ask Zoral Ja's machines for help. been making a conceited effort to bolster his forces, sparing but a fraction for the people's protection. He thinks nothing of our safety, unlike Queen Sveen. That's enough, my Yusua. If you have grievances, I will hear them later. But to speak of the king now... No, she's right. He's never been one to look after his people. Anyway, thanks for letting us tour the farm. The folks here are delightful, and it's always a pleasure to meet them. You could have favored us with more uplifting words. My people are my pride and joy. Oh, you couldn't have favored us with more uplifting words. You never fail to let us know, or how much you care. Of course, you're my precious family, all of you. You seem a good sort, Sveen, that I'll admit. But you'll forgive me if I'm not ready to lower my guard for the enemy queen just yet. For you to be called that, I dread to imagine what villainy your majesty has committed. Come now, this is no laughing matter. Ruler is responsible for the welfare of countless lives. One wrong decision can lead to untold suffering. Failure is unconscionable. Now I believe we are done with the farm. Let's move on, shall we? Alrighty. On the cloud. Perhaps we should head back to the outskirts. I dare say your friends will have returned by now. My thanks again for dealing with the fiends. Come and visit us anytime. Alright. Let us continue on. Back into the town. Oh, and I just realized there's an aetheryte here, and I did not get it. What is wrong with me? 1 second. 1 second, Lamati. I need to go and get this. Alright. You hear that?
What's happening over there?
It's nearly time.
Nearly time for what?
I'm glad you could make it.
Are you with us?
Queen Sveen has come to see you.
We're here, Namika. Everything is going to be all right.
Namika?
What's the matter, dear?
Namika?
It can't be.
Holy shit.
That's the bangle I gave to Namika.
You know her?
Of course I know her. She was like a mother to me.
I see. She was always willing to lend a kindly ear to others, but rarely did she ever speak of herself.
Is it really you?
She must have arrived shortly before the barrier manifested. For us, it was perhaps days, but for her...
Namika, it's me! Wuklamat!
I'm afraid her time with us is nearly at an end.
Has she no more soul cells?
She always used hers sparingly, but at her age, it wouldn't make a difference.
Ma'am, the ushers have arrived.
Thank you, Namika, for your many years of friendship. Take comfort in the knowledge that this is not the end. Be not afraid. Your memory will live on, in us.
Living on in memory. The giants share a similar belief.
Wait! Where are you taking her?
Worry not. She is being escorted to a medical facility in the tower. There we will ease her burden. I had hoped to make arrangements for her sooner, but she wished to remain here for as long as possible. I could not bring myself to refuse her.
Is there any way I might stay with her for a little while longer? We may not share the same blood, but she was my mother. Please.
Oh god, I'm tearing up.
Let us give them some time alone.
She didn't speak, but I'm grateful that I could be with her at the end. Thank you.
It's not the end.
Hmm?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking that we have much to discuss. Where shall we begin?
With what we can be reasonably certain of, perhaps. Between what we have witnessed and the testimony of Alexandria's inhabitants, it's safe to say that two distinct lands have indeed become one. What's more, having met Namika, there is no denying the divergence in the passage of time. Taken together, these phenomena strongly suggest that some manner of cross-rift displacement has occurred. Specifically, the displacement of Alexandria from another reflection to the source.
It does seem the most likely explanation.
What perplexes me, however, is the scale of said displacement. It far exceeds what could conceivably be achieved with a Void Gate, or even with the Crystal Tower. In essence, we are dealing with a localized instance of dimensional compression. The Ascians would no doubt liken it to a rejoining. Which invites the question, How was such a feat accomplished?
I wish that I had an answer for you, but this talk of reflections and dimensions is well beyond my understanding. I can only tell you that we lived peacefully under the barrier's protection for many, many years, until the day that peace was suddenly broken.
If I may clarify, the barrier predates Alexandria's displacement.
By several hundred years, yes. To when the continent we call home was ravaged by a devastating cataclysm. The barrier was erected to isolate us from the surrounding land's noxious influence.
I see. And it was only later that it was whisked away, along with its contents, by means unknown.
In other words, Sphyn's as lost as the rest of us, right? The Alexandrians didn't mean to end up in Tural.
But of course, our next stop ought to be Everkeep. That tower over yonder. Once you have been registered as my guests, you will have access to Solution 9 and its residential district, where you will doubtless gain invaluable insight into Alexandria's state of affairs. Unfortunately, I cannot take you directly to where Zoraljar resides.
That you'd let us in it all goes a long way toward proving you're not content to let Zoraljar do as he pleases. But we're not talking about a simple difference of opinion here. I've come to avenge my father. And to do so, I intend to take Zoraljar's life. Are you willing to stand by and allow Alexandria's king to be slain?
A fair question. Permit me to answer it thus. My people come first. Their welfare is paramount. I will do everything in my power to keep them from harm. It is a ruler's duty. Now, I am off to register you at Everkeep. It may take some time, but you shall find the entrance open to you in due course. Oh, and ere I forget, your mother, Kafkiwa, you might try the Thunder Yards to the east.
The Thunder Yards? Is that where she is?
I'm afraid I can say no more than that. Make for the Thunder Yards, and all will be made clear.
Well, we've got our next destination.
It's not as if we have other pressing business. Not until we can get into this Everkeep, anyway. Thank you for earlier. And for being a friend to Namika these past 30 years. It means a lot to me.
Namika? I'm sorry, but I don't know who you mean.
Oh?
What? We were just with her. If this is some sort of a joke, it isn't funny.
I don't mean to give offense, but I honestly have no idea who you are talking about. I'm sorry.
How can you not know who she is? You're in charge here. She was under your care.
Then in all likelihood, my memories of her have been stored in the cloud.
Oh, that's fucked.
Any person seemingly forgotten without reason is probably there, in the cloud. Oh, I really must be getting back to work. if you'll excuse me.
Cloud? Seriously? We're putting people's memories in the cloud? That is fucking ominous. Hey, that is very unsettling. What's going on? How could One suddenly forget about Namika? As if he never knew her. Same thing had happened to the others as well, I wonder? There's only one way to find out. Let's make inquiries about Namika in the area. We can reconvene afterwards at the Aetheryte. That is fucking twisted. Why, of all things, would you take someone's memories, someone away? Resident? Is to keep them from mourning? That is fucked up. I do not like this at all. I think those devices were strange, but Jesus Christ. But it was the same for everyone. A single person remembers Namika, as if the memory of her has been purged from their minds. Such a thing might be done with magic to alter the memories. So many at once would be a tremendous undertaking. We would have felt a surge of ether corresponding to the act, too, and I sensed none in that moment. Neither did I, but I did notice something else. Right before Pepone seemingly forgot, the light in the device on his head began to blink. Could there be a connection? Someone also said something about soul cells? Who might we ask about this? If we continued making such inquiries, I expect we would only cause confusion. Indeed, if we can't really resolve the mystery about Namika, perhaps we could search for Kiwa instead? Dean said to try the Thunder Yards. It would be in this direction. Possible. And a mechanical soldier? It looks dangerous. We better destroy it. What? Do we give chase? I think it understood our words. It might be worth asking it some questions. Aaronville, are you right? You look like you've seen a ghost. It's nothing, I'm fine. Well, I went off in the direction we're headed anyway, so let's try to track it down. I've got so many fucking questions. God, I am so looking forward to the to the lore nerds of Final Fantasy XIV dissecting this place, because I cannot wait to see what they have to say. Right, moving this way. Keep exploring. And let's destinate. Found it? I think it was going into some kind of cave? The northeast. It must be bound for the mines. Come on then. It could also be a trap. Let's not rush in too quickly. Right. There are faint voices from the inside. So it's not alone, but we're still going in, of course. Maybe a trap. Be ready for a fight, everyone. Right. Earth and sky. Oh, there's an aether current in here. Grab this. I can hear them, several people up ahead. Make out their conversation with the echoing. Keep going, stay on your guard.
What is this?
Aaronville!
A trap?
It really is you!
Huh?
Who?
I just have to get a look at you in the light. And I can still hardly believe my eyes. But it is you, my darling Olympia!
My darling what now?
Oh boy. It's Aaronville's mother.
Oh, it's so good to see you, my fussy little bun bun. But what are you doing here? What brings you all this way?
Fussy little bun bun.
Longface. Aren't you happy to see me after all this time?
I'd know that laugh anywhere. Mother?
Wait. Since when was your mother a weird, floating thing?
And what have we here? Say, aren't you Galoo Jaja's kitten? I knew I recognized that adorable, fuzzy face! Alexandria was always so excited whenever you invited him over to play. You remember me, I hope?
I can't say that I do, but you know my father?
Oh boy, Aaronville.
Appearances notwithstanding, it would seem this is my mother, Kafkiwa.
I'm sorry?
Oh, but this won't do. Come in! Friends of my Alexandria are always welcome.
Then ship ya.
All I ask is a little forewarning, but no.
A heck.
Just when I thought I was starting to get a handle on this place, how are things still getting stranger?
I have a feeling they're not going to stop getting stranger. What in the absolute fucking fuck? As far as I can tell, this is indeed my mother. I can think of few people in the world quite so spirited. As to what happened, we'll need to ask her. Gone and forgotten. Let's hear what she has to say. So wonderful to meet you all. And the students of Baldessian, it's been a while since I heard that name. Dare I ask the reason for your appearance? Oh, this? It's just a body that I control remotely. I use this for our operations. We're members of a resistance organization. Oblivion, we call ourselves. Our goal is to thwart Zorolja's ambitions for conquest. As the leader, it's proven that I remain where I can't easily be found. I see, whimsical appearances notwithstanding, yours is a serious case. Right you are. Truth be told, Oblivion was founded for an altogether different purpose. That is? As I expect you've already noticed, everything you see within this dome, the buildings, the people, the very earth beneath our feet, the fusion of two worlds. Stopping such a fusion was Oblivion's original mission. And does that mean you know who or what is responsible for it? I'm afraid not. This was a long time ago, and our mission statement has become more of a legend that's passed down to members. By the time we joined, our sole objective was stopping Zorolja. But we failed to do that, and now he's taken his army outside the dome. None of you are wearing those strange devices on your head. Does that have something to do with your work? You mean this? The regulator. Pinnacle of electro-technology, and that we don't wear it is indeed related to our operations. What exactly does it do? Allow me to explain. Regulators have two primary functions. The first, as the name suggests, is the regulation of the wearer's reserve of souls. Should they die, the regulator expends a soul to bring them back to life. Reserve? You mean people walk around carrying spare souls? They do. Souls are packaged in cells, and they can be used to replenish the life forces lost due to sudden death, such as in accidents. Do nothing for those who die of old age, though. Distribution of soul cells is based on one's work evaluation, to encourage exemplary performance, fulfilling their duties. Souls as a common resource, and payment for services rendered. Voidsent practice of consuming others for their aether comes to mind. Similarly, I expect the act comes with some risk. Oh hey, we're actually getting references to this. And people said that this part of the expansion didn't mean anything. Fuck off. Wouldn't the consciousness of others corrupt your own? That is prevented through memory management, a process in which regulators also play a role. Memory management? And the reason everyone has forgotten Amika's existence. Regulators are constantly recording the memories of their wearer, so if they should suddenly die, their memories can be refreshed as a part of the restoration process. This is how they preserve one's identity and sense of self. However, the regulators are also triggered when someone else's dies. Reason being that regulators forcibly extract memories related to the deceased from anyone wearing one. Why would they do such a thing? The kindness bestowed upon the people by Everkeep core system, so that no one has to suffer the pain of loss. This is what is meant by their memories being in the cloud. Indeed, all memories of the deceased are wiped from their minds of the people and archived in the system. Frightening function of the regulators, and an integral step in soul cell production. You see, when a person dies of natural causes, their soul is temporarily housed within the regulator. Then delivered to a facility where memories are separated from the soul. The result is a fresh soul cell, free of impurities, ready for distribution and consumption. Meanwhile, the memories are stored in the core system, to be remembered forever. This is why people are happy here? On the surface, it's similar to the Yakui philosophy, but I see nothing noble or comforting in it. Well, it doesn't seem so terrible to me personally. All comes down to what you're used to, I suppose. Like the barrier encasing Alexandria, this system was created to overcome the calamity that transformed the world hundreds of years ago. Amidst the mounting death toll, scientists used Electrope to devise a means to save what lives they could so the nation could endure. I understand the people of Alexandria did what they believed was best to save their people. I just find it hard to believe that Turali would also accept this way of living. It was a shock to us as well. In fact, a great many were opposed to it. This is why the use of regulars was never compulsory. People have always be free to go without them if they so wish. It didn't strike me as a sort of ruler to impose her will on others. Ah, so you've already met? She's the one who suggested we come to the Thunder Yards in the first place. She also said she wanted to help us stop Zoral Ja. Awfully kind of her to point you in my direction, and to speak so candidly as well. Whatever her motive, she has given the people a choice. Live with the risk of true death, or the security of the regulators. Everything that lives must someday die. That is the natural order of things. Quite right, but however you feel about them, it would be easier to understand what the regulators are capable of if you saw it for yourself. I know just the person to show you, and as luck would have it, they should be starting work right about now. Who are we going to see exactly? Come with me and you'll find out. Man, this is fucked up. I do not like this at all. Oh, and now quest accepted. Well, I think for now, we're going to go ahead and end the episode off here. It's just been one surprise after the next. This place is weird. In a way that I don't really like. But we'll have to see how it goes from here. So until then, this has been Ray, signing out. Later, guys, and have a good day.